after that one, that's when we went back up and got into the deal where I got in this town and I got hit for the second time. That was 4 days after this. And I got in this other town. See, I shot one other guy there too somewhere. He was sticking his head out of the foxhole too, and all I could see was his helmet and him. And I was afraid he was going to take a crack at us, and when he raised up with his helmet, I put a hole in the helmet. We walked out of there, I know, then we got into the Colmar Canal, so across the canal I was telling you about with the rope bridge, and we got into town. That's where I got hit. They brought in artillery finally during the night, early the next morning, I guess. And when I left, it was German tanks, German equipment, soldiers, dead soldiers all over the place. I got on board a ambulance and started back, and they were picking up German dead, come to find out, after we kept stopping all the time. Come to find out they were picking up German dead, and they were froze solid, and they had them stacked like cordwood side the road, and they were picking them up and throwing them in the back of one of the big trucks, getting them out of there. And I was talking to a German lieutenant that had been shot through the shoulder, and there was one other German in there, private, that he had captured. He was going back with us. And I had quite a conversation with this German lieutenant. He'd been in Russia, fighting on the Russian front, down somewhere in Georgia. Georgia? Mm-hmm. And they'd sent him back for R&R to Berlin. And he said they didn't go to Berlin. He wound up there fighting us. And he got hit, and they were sending him back. We got captured, and they were sending him back. And I was talking with him all the way up. But after he was complaining all the time because his arm and something. This poor other guy, his arm was broke, I know, at least in 2 places. Looked like he hit an automatic weapon of some kind. And he was a mess. Never said a word. And I said something to the lieutenant about him.
So he spoke English quite well, huh?
Yeah, he never said a word. And I said something to the lieutenant about him, but he's not complaining. I said And after that, the lieutenant wouldn't even talk to me. I guess I kind of showed him up a little bit or something. But I felt sorry for the guy. He must have been hurting. He was hurt bad, I know. He'd been hit about 3 or 4 different times. Arm was broken 2 or 3 spots. His shoulder. He was still navigating. But anyway, I got back there and they got me in a hospital. And I think I was there for a couple of days. This was just before that happened. We in that other town before we got across the canal there, before we got that going. Greg and I got a German. No, it wasn't Greg. Somebody else. Because Greg had got captured. We got a German patrol car coming down the street. I guess he thought the thing was clear, but. He must have been whipping along a good 50 miles an hour, driving 2 officers in it. That's where I picked up the flag that was on the. I had that when I got back into the hospital. There's a flag with a swastika on it. It was
Get it
nice,
off the car?
beautiful. I got it off in the car. But Greg and I both fired at him. And he whipped back and forth across the road and right into a stone wall. Was not too far from where we were. He was headed right at us. That's where I picked that up. And I guess somebody stole that off from me there in the hospital when I was left to go to get my leg operated on. But I went from there back into Paris. And or was it Paris? Yeah, Paris. And they opened up my leg again, took a chunk of steel out of it and sewed it back up and put my leg in a cast from my ankle to my hip. And it's where sergeant came down through about the 2nd day I was there, and he was throwing Purple Hearts onto the beds of each soldier as he went by. He had a big cornflake box. He was throwing them on the beds as he went by. I got one of them. And, today I still got it. That's the one I was telling you about. I thought I'd maybe send to you. You might want that.
Yeah.
And it's about 2 days after that, here come another, two colonels. They both come in and saluted me and handed me a little thing you could hardly see. It was a cluster to the Purple Heart.
Little
Both saluted to me and pinned it onto me and took off. And I still got that. That's on that one thing you have up there on that thing up there. That's
the leaf.
those are little oak leaves or whatever they are. But I was there for probably a week